Good afternoon and welcome to the Daily Community Briefing on WBON Channel 9. I'm Gwendolyn Morton with our top story of the day. 4 Fayette County public schools were evacuated alongside with the help of the Lexington police this afternoon following alleged bomb threats. According to authorities with the Fayette County public school system, Frederick Douglass, Henry Clay, Lafayette, and Paul Laurence Dunbar high schools were evacuated, quote, out of an abundance of caution after bomb threats were issued against a handful of schools. The buildings were inspected by law enforcement for any potential threat before students and staff were allowed to return to the building. Scary situation there. Well, Lee County is getting hit hard with the deadly effects of the COVID variant. Lee County Superintendent Sarah Wasson confirmed that Lee County Elementary employee Rhonda Estes has died from COVID-19. This makes the 3rd employee of the school to die from the virus. The first was Heather Antle in late August, then custodian Bill Bailey in September. More sad news there out of Lee County. Well, there's been a lot of talk recently about the use of monoclonal antibodies. They are used during the treatment of COVID-19 patients, but there is more to them that people may not be aware of. Chief Medical Officer of Baptist Health Richmond, Dr. Erica Gregonis, discussed how doctors use these synthetic antibodies and to issue the availability. With the interview, here's WBON TV's News Director, Marissa Hempel.
So, Dr. Gregonis, we've been hearing a lot about these monoclonal antibodies. I don't really even know what they are. I have a vague understanding just from reporting it, but I'm sure a lot of lay people don't understand. So do you care to explain what these are?
These monoclonal antibodies, we've had them available for some time, but probably haven't been used as much as people want. So an antibody is what your body naturally makes in its immune system to fight off an infection. So when your body sees the COVID virus, it would have an antibody made that would attach to it and help start attacking it. So that's how our body naturally fights infection. So when we get a COVID vaccine, that's kind of what we're asking our body to do, is to figure out how to build those antibodies already. But what we have the monoclonal antibodies are, these are ones that are synthetic, but they're made, and then when you get exposed or possibly have COVID, then you can get these monoclonal antibodies so your body can fight this infection more quickly.
It seems that there's a shortage, however. We're hearing hospitals don't have them. There's a high need for it. I know a local hospital did a pop-up tent for it, right? So how are these used?
So like I said, if you have COVID, you have to be within 10 days of the onset of symptoms, and you have to have obviously a positive COVID test in order to qualify. And then you have to be someone that's in a high risk category, meaning if you're older than age 65, obese or overweight, those are high risk for progressing to severe illness. People that have other chronic diseases also may qualify, but those that do, then once they got that, they would get an order from their physician to get a monoclonal antibody. They would get, there's 2 forms. It can be an IV infusion or it can be an injection, and then you are watched and monitored for a little while after able to go home. The goal is to try to prevent people from getting severe disease by using these monoclonal antibodies. And you talked about, I think you talked about there being a shortage. This is something we get directly from the government. So you only get what supply they're willing to give you. Up to this point, some people we had them because, you know, the pandemic had kind of slowed down in our area. So a lot of us had them. And now that the demand is back up because we're having this increase in cases, now you're starting to see that there's not enough to go around. Eventually, it will now go to like an allocation from the government. And so even if you have some, you may not be able to get more. So our goal, though, is when people have this monoclonal antibody in their pharmacy supply, we want to be able to use it. We want to be able to use it to help the community. It's been hard. It's been very hard for lots of facilities to be able to use it because it may be A, do you have the supply? 2, do you have the staff to give it? Or do you have the space in order to be able to give it? Given the number of COVID cases in the community, a lot of our hospitals really don't have the space or the staff to be able to give it.
Is this completely approved? This is above the bar. It's safe? Because obviously there's a lot of things going around right now that not everybody's so sure of.
So it is still considered emergency use.
Thanks, Marissa, for that story. Lots of good information there. Well, starting on October 1st, FEMA is changing flood insurance nationwide. Our team of analysts found that FEMA's new rules will cost 71% of Kentucky residents as much as $100 more a month. A full breakdown of what this means for flood insurance in Kentucky is available online. County level data is also available upon request. Key findings for Kentucky: 71% of the policyholders will see a price increase, 29% of policyholders will see a price decrease, 6% of policyholders will pay an extra $20 a month, 19% of policyholders will save $20 or more a month. Lots of more money going out there. Well, today in his weekly press conference, Walt Wells discussed the heartbreaking loss for his Colonels in their first home game this past Saturday. One thing that really stuck out for the fans that attended the game was the new atmosphere at the stadium and the updates to the tailgate lot and the events that led up to the game.
I think, again, Matt Roan and his staff has done a great job of trying to create a game day atmosphere. And an atmosphere in Richmond, Kentucky that people can come and enjoy a quality football game, which I think they saw, although the results are not what none of us wanted. But quality football game, quality experience on campus and in Richmond. And I think it's a viable option for everybody to come be a part of. And I think all the upgrades to everything, I think getting the students involved in the game on the hill with the rundown, eventually we are going to have it to where the students can run down with us. We're working through some COVID protocols and different things like that. I don't know if it'll happen this year, but that is something that we have talked about and excited about, and different opportunities for people to do that. I think you saw, the excitement in our players, but also in everybody that was in the stands.
Coach was asked to give his pitch to fans who might be willing to travel down from Lexington and what he would say to convince them to come watch his team play.
I definitely think that it's a quality experience for them. If they're looking for any type of, I don't want to suggest it like that, but anything to do on the weekend, on Saturday, I just looked at the weather and it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be almost like a fall day. I think we're going to have a great atmosphere. We've got a bunch of men down here on both sides of the ball, on our team and on Austin P team that are quality players and that are going to go out there and fight and battle each other for victory. And if you want to come and have a great experience in Richmond, Kentucky, if you want to come and enjoy the atmosphere, our game day atmosphere was electric, to be quite honest with you, the other night. And, I know we're making some minor changes to help improve that. And so the quality that they're going to see is great. I think Kentucky fans found that out last week when they played Chattanooga. There's good football at this level. So come down to EKU, come down to Richmond. We've got everything you want in the stadium. We've got the lights. We've got, the beverages. We've got anything that you want to do to enjoy yourself. Plenty of tailgate room. It's wide open. We got great restaurants in our town for later to go watch the Kentucky Wildcats play. We've got everything that you want here, but come give our guys a chance. And because they play extremely hard. And I want to get back to that because they played extremely hard. They played their guts out the other night. Did we make some critical mistakes? We sure did. Did I make some critical mistakes? I'm sure we all made some mistakes, and we've got to continue to get better. But come watch us play and give these young men a chance because they're great guys.
Wells also talked about the final moments of the Indiana State game and what he told his team after they gave up the touchdown as time expired.
I think you look at it every Saturday in college football. Blowouts are far and few between. There's good football players everywhere, and there's good teams everywhere, and you have to play 60 minutes. Quite frankly, we played 59 and 58 seconds, and we had some critical errors on that last play that can't happen. And so, when the play was happening, I was confident in the call. We had practiced it 4 or 5 times that week in that situation, and we knew where we were at. It just didn't happen for us for the reasons that we know now, but we have to correct those, and we have to make sure we make those situations. I thought about calling the timeout right before. I just called one and got a look. They changed the formation. I thought about calling another one. But me and Jake were talking on the phones, and I felt confident and he felt confident that we were going to make the plays. And so we let it roll. And, it didn't work out for us, but we got that corrected yesterday, and we're going to move forward from that. You know, I told the team the same thing I just told you. It's 60 minutes. We have to play full 60 minutes. We have to cut out the critical errors. You can't have the critical errors that we had in special teams and that we had at times on offense and defense and expect to beat good opponents. You've got to eliminate those to have a chance to win the game.
For more updates on Colonel football, be sure to watch the newscast the rest of this week or tune in on Mondays to the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show. I'm Michael Watkins.
Thanks, Michael, for that story. Well, according to a new poll from the Foundation for a Healthy Kentucky, 1 in 5 unvaccinated Kentuckians say they are now open to getting the COVID-19 vaccine. While some are keeping an open mind, more than 1/3 of the unvaccinated people surveyed said nothing will motivate them to get the shot. And with that, we're going to go to our first break of the day. We'll be right back here with more news and COVID numbers here on WBON Channel 9.
Davis & Powell Funeral Home in Berea. From our attention to detail, a diverse staff, and the best aftercare in the business, there's no better local choice to take care of your family in a difficult time than Davis & Powell. Call in to discuss pre-planning and preparations so there'll be no additional burden on your family. Davis & Powell Funeral Home in Berea. For additional information, check them out at davisandpowellfuneralhome.com. Davis & Powell Funeral Home, always going the extra mile.
The mission at H2 Health is to create a healthcare environment where their employees and clients love to be. They offer a wide range of services including physical therapy, occupational therapy, a chronic pain program, wellness and fitness programs, dry needling, and more. H2 Health is here to get you back in the game and feeling your best with locations in Richmond, Berea, and more. Visit h2health.com to learn more and get started today at H2 Health.
Granite, marble, and quartz for any surface. Make a lifetime commitment you won't regret.
You're watching WBON TV Channel 9's live, local, and daily news briefing, brought to you by Bishop's Small Engine Repair, Affordable Heating and Air, Bluegrass Marble and Granite, Davis & Powell Funeral Home, Whitaker Bank. The daily news briefing is also brought to you by these great local sponsors.
Donate or shop at the new location for the Habitat Restore in Madison County. The proceeds from the Habitat Restore go towards helping build a home for someone in need. Shop, donate, or volunteer at the new location for the Habitat Restore in the old CVS Pharmacy building on Main Street in Richmond.
You know when you step outside and it feels absolutely perfect? The air's not too warm, not too cool, just perfection? Now imagine if you could have that same feeling inside your home at a price that feels even better. You can, thanks to the folks at Affordable Heating and Air. Call 859-779-0122 now and get the best Lennox home comfort systems at a price you'll love. That's Affordable Heating and Air at 859-779-0122 or online at affordableheating-air.com.
When I started to experience the world from practicing law, it showed me that there's a lot of injustice that can be corrected. We're called personal injury attorneys, but I'm not there for the injury, I'm there for the recovery. And that's what we try to do. We try to help people recover after they've been hurt. If the big firms are going to drop you as soon as your claim entails some kind of work, some kind of additional effort, why not just come to someone who's going to put the work in the first place?
Support your favorite team with apparel from Campus Warehouse in Richmond. Whether you're an EKU fan or you're a part of the Big Blue Nation, Campus Warehouse has something for you. Stop by and see their new line of Old Road t-shirts, because guys, we know Saturdays are for the boys. Plus they have the cutest seasonal tees for the ladies. And Campus Warehouse now carries a new line of tees for the kiddos as well. Visit campuswarehouserichmond.com or stop by their location in the Richmond Center next to Buffalo Wild Wings.
The Old West, the way you remember it. Good guys and bad guys.
Come and join us as we watch and talk about the best of the West.
Western movies, TV shows, and more.
Draw Western Theater, Saturdays at 1 p.m.
Here on Richmond's very own Channel 9.
Welcome back to the Daily Community Briefing on WBON Channel 9. I'm Gwendolyn Morton. Well, there's no guessing and no doubt you can follow the actual footsteps and trailblazed by Daniel Boone at the Boone Trace Trail. A collaboration between the city of Berea and Berea College allowed for the development of a 3/4-mile trail that lines up almost exactly with the path Boone and his team took in 1775 from North Carolina through the Cumberland Gap and on to Boonesboro. Berea College granted an easement to the city for parking area and a shared use trail along Brushy Fork Creek. The Berea Tourism Commission provided funding for the materials used to create the gravel path. Berea's Public Works team constructed the trail, which was dedicated on September the 18th. In new data presented by the U.S. Census Bureau, the COVID-19 pandemic has affected both the beginning and end of life cycle for the U.S. population. Births declined and mortality was up. Provincial monthly data show a downturn in births in the winter of 2021, but there were signs of a possible rebound in March. While the data indicates the pandemic caused the decline, other factors were taken into account by officials too. Among them, births in the United States have a seasonal pattern. The number of U.S. births has declined every year since 2008, with the exception of 2014. There are similar patterns in other countries. COVID-19 was declared a national emergency March 13, 2020. The largest percentage of babies conceived after that would be born during or after the first week of December 2020. Evidence that the pandemic affected fertility can be seen starting in December 2020. Well, there's going to be an EKU parking lot protest that started today, running from 10:30 a.m. till 2:30 p.m. each day, today, tomorrow, and Thursday. This was organized by the students. In a statement, they said over the last month there has been an increased amount of complaints about the parking at EKU, which since then has led to more and more concerns about the safety of the students of Eastern Kentucky University. Many people have personally tried to express their concerns to many different departments, but nothing has been done. We're taking a stand, literally. Join us outside the Commonwealth Building here at EKU's campus to peacefully protest for better lighting on campus, better safety measures for the students, and more enforced parking regulations and more parking options for the students. You can find out more about this by checking out the Facebook page, and that is EKU Parking Protest Facebook group. Jaden Solis and Mackenzie Howard are the admins of this group, just to make sure that you join the right one. And again, it's today, tomorrow, and Thursday in front of the Commonwealth at 521 Lancaster Avenue in Richmond, 10:30 to 2:30 each day. And just a reminder, this is a peaceful protest. Signs are allowed, but most must be appropriate, and you'll be asked to either put down your sign or leave if they are not. We will have assigned people walking around to make sure things stay peaceful and appropriate. Well, in Winchester, Clark Regional Medical Center is in a prepared statement announced it has closed its infusion clinic due to an anticipated national shortage of monoclonal antibodies. Monoclonal antibodies are manufactured antibodies that are similar to ones the human body makes to fight infections. This treatment is usually given to patients who face greater health risks from COVID-19 viruses. The hospital also announced a zero visitor policy with 3 exceptions: 1 emergency department visitor per patient other than a COVID positive, 1 support visitor for the Center for Women and Babies, and 1 parent or guardian for a pediatric patient. Well, Madison Central has won 4 straight games after losing their first game of the year. And yesterday, head coach Mike Holcomb talked with Michael Watkins as part of the Jack Burford Chevrolet Sports Show to discuss the way his team has played over the last month and more recently on their 49-0 shutout victory over Lafayette on Friday.
Talking with Mike Holcomb, the head coach of Madison Central. And, Coach, another big offensive explosion for you guys as you go on the road to Lafayette and get a big 49-0 victory. Back-to-back weeks, big offensive outputs, defense looks unstoppable. Just talk about the way your team has played the last 2 weeks and what you've been impressed with.
Well, I think they've gained a lot of confidence, and I think our team has, come together good. They understand what more and more of the concepts on both sides of the ball. Coach Blair and Coach Smoot and Coach Cornick Coach Chapman, all those guys, and Coach Minner, Chris Minner, all those guys do a great job defensively preparing them each week. And I think their individual positions, they understand the concepts from week to week. Seeing the type of offenses. So they're buying in good, and then offensively, I think our people up front are understanding more and more what we're doing. Our running backs are understanding. It's all been a little different style offensively. So it's took a little adaptation, but I think that that they're getting it, and they're working hard. They play so hard. That's what pleases me the most is their effort.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that I've noticed the biggest difference in is just how hard these guys are playing. And it doesn't matter if it's a starter or, a guy that's coming in, a young guy late in the game. When you've got one of these big leads, they are continuing to play hard every single play.
Yeah, and that's a tribute to our kids. And, when their opportunity comes, they get in there and make the best of it. And, we stress in practice for everybody to be ready for the next man up. And when your opportunity comes, get in there and do your job and play like you know how. And so that's been pleasant for us. And of course, I don't know. I think LCA, the first game was probably one of the better teams in the state the way it keeps looking. So, but we got some real tough games coming up here in this.
Well, you've got an open week this week, and then you play Pikeville. Talk about, what you guys will be doing this week during the open week, and then what you'll be doing to prepare for Pikeville coming in a couple of weeks.
Well, both sides of the ball, we look at things that people are doing, but we basically do what we do. So, defensively, the coaches they probably got the hardest job because high school offenses are so varied, you can see a wing T one week, a spread gun the next week, wishbone. You can see so many different things. That's probably the hardest job in America, I think, being a defensive coach. But we just continue to work on fundamentals. And, on the offensive side of the ball, we just pretty much do what we do. We just have to know how to block different fronts and how to execute things. We just want to get better and better, get our timing better, and just get, closer as a team. And, our special teams, we need to work on them pretty good. We need to clean some stuff up there a little bit. We had a punt block, which isn't good. And, and of course, we hadn't punted in a couple of weeks. So that'll give us a chance to focus on the little things we just need to get better at and get healthy a little bit. Playing as much football as you do in practice, you get beat and banged a little bit. So maybe just give us a chance to catch our breath before we go into the stretch of the season.
Thanks, Michael, for that story. We're going to take our second break of the day. Don't go anywhere. We've got COVID numbers coming up right after this on WBON Channel 9.
Davis & Powell Funeral Home in Berea. From our attention to detail, a diverse staff, and the best aftercare in the business, there's no better local choice to take care of your family in a difficult time than Davis & Powell. Call in to discuss pre-planning and preparations so there'll be no additional burden on your family. Davis & Powell Funeral Home in Berea. For additional information, check them out at davisandpowellfuneralhome.com. Davis & Powell Funeral Home, always going the extra mile.
The mission at H2 Health is to create a healthcare environment where their employees and clients love to be. They offer a wide range of services including physical therapy, occupational therapy, a chronic pain program, wellness and fitness programs, dry needling, and more. H2 Health is here to get you back in the game and feeling your best with locations in Richmond, Berea, and more. Visit h2health.com to learn more and get started today at H2 Health.
Granite, marble, and quartz for any surface. Make a lifetime commitment you won't regret.
You're watching WBON TV Channel 9's live, local, and daily news briefing brought to you by Bishop's Small Engine Repair, Affordable Heating and Air, Bluegrass Marble and Granite, Davis & Powell Funeral Home, Whitaker Bank. The daily news briefing is also brought to you by these great local sponsors.
Donate or shop at the new location for the Habitat Restore in Madison County. The proceeds from the Habitat Restore go towards helping build a home for someone in need. Shop, donate, or volunteer at the new location for the Habitat Restore in the old CVS Pharmacy building on Main Street in Richmond.
You know when you step outside and it feels absolutely perfect? The air's not too warm, not too cool, just perfection? Now imagine if you could have that same feeling inside your home at a price that feels even better. You can, thanks to the folks at Affordable Heating and Air. Call 859-779-0122 now and get the best Lennox home comfort systems at a price you'll love. That's Affordable Heating and Air at 859-779-0122 or online at affordableheating-air.com.
When I started to experience the world from practicing law, it showed me that there's a lot of injustice that can be corrected. We're called personal injury attorneys, but I'm not there for the injury, I'm there for the recovery. And that's what we try to do. We try to help people recover after they've been hurt. If the big firms are going to drop you as soon as your claim entails some kind of work, some kind of additional effort, why not just come to someone who's going to put the work in the first place?
Support your favorite team with apparel from Campus Warehouse in Richmond. Whether you're an EKU fan or you're a part of the Big Blue Nation, Campus Warehouse has something for you. Stop by and see their new line of Old Road t-shirts, because guys, we know Saturdays are for the boys. Plus, they have the cutest seasonal tees for the ladies. And Campus Warehouse now carries a new line of tees for the kiddos as well. Visit campuswarehouserichmond.com or stop by their location in the Richmond Center next to Buffalo Wild Wings.
The Old West, the way you remember it. Good guys and bad guys.
Come and join us as we watch and talk about the best of the West.
Western movies, TV shows, and more.
Draw Western Theater, Saturdays at 1 p.m.
Here on Richmond's very own Channel 9.
Welcome back to the Daily Community Briefing on WBON Channel 9. We're going to go right on into our COVID numbers now. You can take a look at that current incidence rate map that we have if you're watching along with WBON. Yesterday we had 2 counties in the orange. Today we have a 3rd county in the orange, which actually we have switched those up a little bit. Clinton County has been consistently in the orange for about 5 or 6 days now. They have gone down again. Nope, I'm wrong. They stayed exactly the same, 11.2 yesterday and today. Yesterday, Lyon County was just barely in the orange. They have gone back to red, but just barely above there at 27.8 today. Now, we do have 2 new orange counties, Livingston County at 17.1 and Carlisle County at 18. Just a look at how quickly they went down. Livingston was at 34 yesterday at 17 today. Carlisle was at 36 yesterday at 18 today. Taking a look very quickly at some of the hot spots around Kentucky. Whitley County 204, McCreary 134, Bell 109, Harlan 180, Knox 158. Those are all along the southern border down there. Also, other hot spots, looks like Floyd at 142, McGoffin 142, Perry 159, Leslie 177, Clay, which has had a lot of publicity about it, 106. Rockcastle getting very close to the 200 mark. They're now at 194. They were actually in the 200s yesterday, so that number has gone down just a little bit. McGoffin County 142, Floyd County 142. And then around central Kentucky, Madison County down just a little bit from yesterday. We were at 138 yesterday. Today we're at 126. Surrounding counties, Garrett 105, Jessamine 114, Fayette 65, Clark 78, and looks like Estill County at 120. Numbers for the whole incidence rate for the current overall incident rate for the state of Kentucky down just a little bit to 79.7. We were at 84.65 yesterday. If you need testing, if you want the vaccine, contact White House Clinic. They can get you taken care of on both of those. And we'll see you tomorrow. That makes another day of daily community briefing. We'll see you Wednesday here at 3 o'clock. See you tomorrow.